Okay, moving on here to problem number 7. It says Hugo averages 32 home runs per season with a standard deviation of 2.5. Jacob averages 27 home runs per season with a standard deviation of 1.6. Last season, Hugo hit 36 home runs and Jacob hit 31 home runs. Who had more home runs relative to their usual seasonal average? Explain. So if you're just looking at the total number of home runs, then obviously Hugo hit more home runs. But comparatively, Hugo normally hits 32 home runs, and Jacob normally averages 27 home runs. So it might be that Jacob performed better compared to how he normally performs than Hugo, because Hugo typically scores more home runs. So if we want to standardize these out to see who did better compared to how much they usually do, we would use z-scores. So way up here is our formula for z-scores. Z is the data value minus the mean all over the standard deviation. So z equals our x value minus our mean, that's our symbol for mean, over standard deviation, which looks like this. Those are our symbols. So if we're trying to find the z-score for Hugo, I'm going to just write this off to the side because I don't feel like there's enough room here. So for Hugo, I'm going to do his z-score is going to be his value of home runs that he hit is 36. His mean is 32. And his standard deviation is 2.5. So to get his z-score, I'm just going to type that into my calculator. So I have 36 minus 32, hit enter, and then divide it by 2.5. So Hugo's z-score is a 1.6. And remember that a z-score means how many standard deviations the data value is above or below the mean. So Hugo doing 36 home runs in one game is 1.6 standard deviations better than what he normally does. So, and now to do it for Jacob, his z-score, his number of home runs that he hit was 31, but he normally averages 27, and his standard deviation is 1.6. So again, I'll just use my calculator here, 31 minus 27 divided by 1.6. 2.5. Wow, so Jacob's z-score is 2.5. So that means Jacob was 2.5 standard deviations above his mean. So compared to their relative standard normal curves, Hugo would have been about right here. Here's his mean, so 1.6. He would have been about right here on his standard normal curve. But Jacob with 2.5 would have been right here. So comparatively, Jacob did better than his usual seasonal average than Hugo, because although he still scored less home runs compared to what he normally does, he was 2.5 standard deviations above what he normally does, and Hugo was only 1.6 standard deviations above what he normally does. So I'm not going to write that out in words because honestly I don't have enough room here, but you heard my explanation. So that is what you would be expected to do to explain why, even though someone has a lower number, why they might have still done better than usual.